We are live. And what an exhibition of batting. They were really celebrating Diwali at the Sinnaswamy Stadium today because three batters getting to 50s, Shreyas and KL centuries, and boy, 410 for 4. It could have been better with a lot of sparklers and a lot of rockets had Virat Kohli got into his 50th run today. But sadly, it was not meant to be. But Shreyas and KL, what an exhibition of batting. 200 plus run partnership. First time any Indian middle order bat has scored a century in the World Cup after 2011.
It's the same problem with Siddharth and his setup where we are going to be getting an echo. So Siddharth, I'd advise you put yourself on mute. Have you put yourself on mute? You have. Maybe it's my issue. Let's see if we can fix it. I'll go on mute.
Well, is it an echo on my end? I don't think so.
I don't think it's an echo at your end, Shane.
It is an echo on my. It's an echo on my end, and also Siddharth's end. Firstly, thanks to Shashwat. He was kind enough to join us. Late as always. That he's still trying to figure out where he is. Like, look at the look on his face. It's like as if he's like a rabbit caught in front of headlights.
Someone had a good nap.
Yeah. But I mean, out of all the days, having a nap on the day that Indian batters are going ballistic, where KL Rahul got 100, Surya Kumar Yadav got 100.
Am I audible?
Oh,
Shashwat,
now he's there.
Shashwat, we are live. So do not treat it as you're testing. We are live right now.
I think we know where the echo is there. It's not just echo, it's probably a lag also. Yeah, that's probably the best thing he did.
Are you getting an echo now? I think there is an echo.
No, it's fine on your end.
Why don't Siddharth go ahead?
Okay, now I have to once again go through the same drill, keep myself on mute, and ensure I make exact point-to-point notes.
No, I think the echo is from both our sides, Siddharth, you and I. I think Shane's the only one that doesn't have an echo.
That's funny. I actually, in the first stream, I was having problems. Now I seem to be the only one not having problems.
But now our producer, who is off today, has sent a message. His name is Shivam Goswami, who's saying it's fine now. So let's go ahead with our analysis. So what a day! Incredible, Diwali gift for the Indian batters. I think I now know why Rohit Sharma may have won the toss and decided to bat, because if you see the initial part of the tournament, they were chasing and winning rather well. I think it is setting up a big total. Batting first is something that they had on their mind, just in case they were asked to do that in the semi-final, maybe even the final. That's what he decided. And I think you could see it in the intent that Rohit Sharma showed with the way he started. Clearly wanted to, put the gauntlet down, really put a total that will be intimidating for the other teams. Though, having said that, I actually at one point thought India should have gotten much more than 400. I know it's funny now when I say more than 400, but the way India were going and against the bowling attack of Netherlands, because I think Australia got around 360 here and New Zealand got 401 and Pakistan were well on their way of chasing 401. So Bangalore, with the beauty of a pitch that you get here, with the short boundaries that you have, I thought, and with the bowling attack, I mean, no disrespect to Netherlands, but comparatively, the bowling attack you could have targeted much more. But I think the biggest positive for India coming in this particular innings is going to be the 100 for Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul, because we kept talking about, how the top three are the ones that really need to focus on, the ones that, will get you all the runs. But today, as it turns out, I mean, the top three did have a good time, but that number 4 and 5 needed big runs and big runs at the strike rate that they've got. I think that's the biggest positive for India. So in terms of bowling, they checked all the boxes. In terms of batting, also now, they've kind of checked all boxes going into that semi-final.
I mean, if you look at it, see, this is the ideal practice. Before the start of the match, everybody of us wanted some. What are the boxes that you wanted to take? Most of us had agreed that Shreyas and KL needed a lot of game time. I kind of thought that was funny because in 3 games against Sri Lanka, against England, and South Africa, the middle order had already gotten game time. Shane pointed out that Surya Kumar Yadav needed some game time, but unfortunately today he didn't get it. I have a feeling that in this game, I maintain you would have not learnt much, you would have not gained much or lost much. It was just the continuation of the template. Nothing new happened. For example, Rohit showed the same template, going for the big hits, setting up the base. Shreyas and KL, we know that once they get going, KL being the local guy, he knew how to go about it and gave the team the flourish that he was always doing at the beginning. Shreyas, ever since the short ball menace that he encountered face on in Mumbai, he decided, okay,
What
I'm
short
going
ball menace? What short ball menace are you talking about?
he got out twice and then he said, I don't have a problem with the short ball.
नो सिद्धार्थ, आपने ही माहौल बनाया है ये. नो 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 नो.
Ah, Siddharth has made this mahal.
Of course. So, in order to dispel that mahal, just like the Delhi rain withered out all the smog, it cleared out all the smog. Just like that, Shreyas with his batting 82, 77 and now 100. Emphatic way to ensure he doesn't have a problem. He just encountered the short ball in a big way, just went about, backed himself. And the only disappointment was Virat not getting to 50th ton, that too getting bowled by a left arm spinner in rule of random.
I was going to ask that. Left arm spinner.
During the
Santner,
pre-match show, I was the only one who predicted that it's not coming today, and everyone else predicted it's coming today. And I've mentioned it very clearly. I'm a little scared if it comes finally, I'm going to get trolled.
no,
No,
this
but
commitment
no,
is for you, Shash.
but on basis of what did you say that?
I just felt it was just my intuition.
Yes. So intuition, then you get no brownie points. Had you said that I think there is a very good left arm spinner, Vandemov in South African rank, and he's going to do it, then you would have got all your brownie points. Intuition is, you don't know. Intuition is like most people would have said Rohit starts off well and he gets on a lot of runs. But truth be told, when we were watching the match, I thought that the conditions that they were there, first fear was that Virat might not even get a chance to get 100, because what if Shubman and
Yeah.
Rohit batted till the 30th over? Because the way they were batting, it did seem like that they could have gone for 38 overs. Then you lose Shubman Gill, then you're like, okay, now the stage is perfect. At a venue which Virat Kohli said, mind you, is not his second home, but his home. He does not even count it as a second home. He said his home. So, but funnily enough, he calls it home. His record at Chinnaswamy isn't the greatest. Like, he's got runs
Yeah.
by the ton across the globe. You can think of any ground. But it's just that the Chinnaswamy Stadium, for some reason, which is now quote unquote his home, is not a ground where he's gotten a lot of runs. So in that sense, I mean, a bit surprised, why that happens, because it has all the makings for a Virat Kohli to get a lot of runs because of the pitch being the way it is and all of that. But so a bit surprised that he did not. But I guess, see, the only silver lining is, if Virat Kohli would have got it today, we would have remembered it as a 50, but not the greatest. Had he got it, or if he goes on to get it at the semi-final or the final stage, imagine what a knock that is going to be and what an occasion that is going to be to bring about his 50th. And on that note, I'm going to take your leave. Bye-bye. See you. Enjoy.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Nikhil makes a point. I mean, what if he scores a century in the semi-final or the final? Then, with just like the Lionel Messi Cristiano Ronaldo debate, greatness cemented,
Yeah,
legacy.
definitely, definitely. As of now, also, if
That
there
is
is any question or debate on him, it's more or less for the reason that he hasn't got those big runs on that. Okay, I'm going to say a stage where the team genuinely needs it in a World Cup stage. Once he gets that, also, I don't think there is going to be any question, if even anyone has, about him being selfish, not being the greatest. When if that happens, then though I don't, it's a closed shut debate.
Look, in the World Cup knockouts, I'm not talking about the T20 World Cups. T20 World Cups, Virat in knockouts is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But in 2015 and 2019, his highest score has been 1 in the semi-final. 9 and 34 in the semi-finals and in the final of 2011, which is why somewhere down the line on November 15th and November 19th, Virat Kohli is building up to correct even that anomaly also. Because at home, Mumbai, as well as if you look at it, Ahmedabad, ideal pitches where he can correct that anomaly. 750 plus scores in 2023 ODI World Cup. It's a big, big achievement for Virat. And look at the consistent run that he's been getting ever since Australia. It's happening, folks. It's somewhere down the line that particular anomaly is getting corrected. Today, very surprised. Left arm spin, rule of Vandermeer, he tried to cut, ideally not a shot that you want to go against. I think the bit of skid that happened ensured that his Ostom got approved. But otherwise, it was a near perfect Virat knock. According to the template, 51 or 56, getting ready for the next stage, and then he would have got it.
Yeah, but I think one player who didn't have a problem when it comes to that template, when you're coming out talking about acceleration, getting those big runs, Shreyas Iyer. I think we were predicting hundreds today, and all of us picked 200s. None of us picked KL, but I was the only one who said Shreyas Iyer would get you 100 today. And yes, indeed, he's gotten that 100, first ever World Cup 100 for him. Pretty big moment when you're looking at it, especially when you consider that even in 2019, this is a guy who admitted that I was a little bit disappointed to not be looked at for the World Cup, because I did believe at that point that I could be the man to solve that number 4 conundrum that India entered the World Cup with. 4 years later, he's getting that chance despite actually being afflicted by a lot of injury issues in the build-up. And it's safe to say the last 3 knocks that he's had, I mean, he's absolutely been stellar. I mean, I know this is a match, not high stakes, not the biggest of opposition, but you take those opportunities to get those big runs and give yourself that confidence going into the knockouts. Perfect innings from him, really. I think he had a good
And
knock, him and KL both, really.
And in this, I would like to also appreciate the team management also, because I remember even before the World Cup, Ishan Kishan was firing a lot at the number 4 position, because Shreyas Iyer was out of with that little bit of nickel during the Asia Cup also. After that, also entering the World Cup, there he had a few bad innings, but the team never showed that kind of, did not never gave any ideas of dropping him. If they continued backing him all throughout whenever he has been injured, since he has been with the team since the World Cup, after 2019. He had a lot of injuries, but as soon as he got fit, the team did stick to him. That is something I really liked, and the team has given him that assurance. And today, finally, he has stood up to that also. So that is something I would also want to give the team management.
Yeah, I mean, look, you may have all gotten your Centurion predictions half right. I got the score
I
prediction
was the
wrong.
only one who got it right
I had said
also.
405, they got to 410, the second highest World Cup score for India, just behind their 413 that they had against Bermuda in 2007. But looking at it, this Indian batting lineup now, all boxes are double ticked. It's ticked. Now there is no doubt whatsoever heading into the semi-final clash on November 15th.
That being
The
said,
only
I would still like to have seen Sky get a bit of batting time, but I think that's like a luxury at this point. When your top 5 are firing the way they are, you'd expect that at least one, if not two of them, can step up and give you that big knock when necessary.
yeah,
Also, I
I
know. Also, I know. Shubman did get you runs today, and he was good. He was in fact the first half centurion on the day. Rohit only got to his half century after that. So
Quicker
good
than
aggression. I
Rohit.
think it was a 30 ball 50
Yeah,
for
yeah, he was playing in T20 mode.
but my
25 in
expectation
20.
maybe from him is such that I want to see more runs. Maybe it's the greedy fan inside me who wants Shubman Gill. I know he's not going to be perhaps in the top 4 5 run getters now because he didn't really have the ideal start to the tournament. Remember, he came off an illness, missed out on a few games. After that, it was a couple of hits and misses for him. He's shown promise, as always has been the case with him. But I think he comes in with so much promise that he can get even more runs. Again, it's good when you can score 50, 60 odd runs. Then of course Rohit Sharma also getting those 40 to 80, that bracket in which Rohit Sharma is operating. It's working beautifully for this Indian team right now. But I think a century for for Shubman Gill, beg your pardon, could also take this India, and it can happen. It can happen. It can, if he can give you that 100 runs right up top. This Indian team is looking menacing. You'll have to come up with a new word for what it'll be like if Shubman also ends up getting you those big runs.
I
And I
mean,
think at
see,
this point, Shane wants to say something. He's got a smirk on his
No,
face.
no, 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 no. Carry on.
All right. All right.
yeah, I mean, look, everybody, as Dravid had stated in the pre-match press conference, okay, he said that don't just look at massive amount of runs. Even if it comes in 30s and 40s, if they're building a partnership, that's great. Look at the middle order contributions in that way. See, number one, two, three, they are the only batters who are going to dominate the run charts whenever you look at it in World Cups. Top three will always dominate. Middle order, it's a luxury if they can score hundreds and ensure that, okay, they will put you to a good score. Look at what happened in 2019. Your number four, since it was non existent, killed off even your number five and six. There was too much pressure there. Now, number four and number five have gotten you centuries. Number six, I would still say Surya Kumar's knock of 49 against England calmed all our nerves down, saying, okay, he can step up for the big occasion also. So, if you have to get through this entire batting lineup, your bowling has to be, your opposition bowling has to be exceptionally good on their given day. Unless the Indian batters have that fear of failure and they play conservatively. That's what Viv Richards also suggested. He suggested if you stay away from that template, then you are in trouble. I do not think that this is going to happen in the near future now because everybody's gotten runs, everybody's in a good headspace, and it's not like they've been contributing from the word go. Shreyas came later on, KL came later on, he contributed in Chennai, but apart from that, he had a lean patch slightly. Then he's again continuing from where he left off. So that's why Rohit, Shubman, Virat all have been contributing from the word go. Now it's Shreyas and KL to take that mantle up, but they'll be tested against a better bowling lineup, which is what New Zealand, maybe South Africa, definitely Australia will test you in the semi-final or in the final if you get.
There's one point that I want to spend some time talking about with you guys, and this was just an observation. When Virat, I think he was 5 of 10 today. When he was batting at 500, there was this one time that he charged down the ground and he tried to clear the infield, wasn't able to do it. The ball just landing short of the man at mid off.
Yeah,
It also took me back to his previous dismissal. I think it was in the England game where he tried to
yeah.
clear the infield, found the man fielding at mid off. That time it was Virat wanting, the urge to get off the mark, because I remember in that match what had happened. I think it was a duck
Eight
for
balls
him.
he hadn't scored,
Ninth
ninth
ball
he
Eight
was
was
balls
out.
he hadn't
ninth
scored.
ball.
He absolutely creamed one, which was fielded very well by Malan, who was fielding at covers. The next ball, he charges down the ground because he hadn't got off the mark. And today, why I was reminded of it is this something that can be targeted against Virat Kohli? Because we've got two instances now where Virat, while even today he was slow to get off the blocks, yes, he made up for it later. But if Virat Kohli, if he's been, let's say, stifled to begin with, then is that the best chance as opposition for you to target that Virat Kohli wicket?
What I have noticed is more than that is that again I would like to mention this, that as a player when you are having even more, this is I have seen this more with people who go for the hard hitter, someone like a Sky or a Glenn Maxwell, who if they don't get a boundary in the starting of their starting 5, 6, 7 deliveries, they try to go for the big shot. We have seen someone like a Maxwell coming in early and going for the big shot, but getting out. Surya Kumar Yadav. Virat Kohli, this is something new that I've seen in the England game and today also. That when he's not getting off the mark, he's trying to go and hit over a cleaner. And this is a very good point that the New Zealand side might just want to exploit, because if they try to shut Virat's runs for a couple of for a couple of deliveries or 5-10 deliveries in the beginning, Virat might end up trying to go for the big shot, and that is something the New Zealand side might want to exploit also.
I mean, if you look at it, see, there is a question also that Ashish was saying. Did feedback of Kolkata innings had impact on Kohli? Because there he was playing slowly, a strike rate of 83. Okay, even today, if you look at it, strike rate of 95. Okay, what do Indian cricket fans want? A version of Kohli like this, where he can accelerate or play according to the situation, or do you want to see the version of Kohli where he takes the attack to the bowlers and fall cheap? Remember, he is the fulcrum of the batting order. Virat Kohli, you can argue that okay, he played slowly in Kolkata, but that was how the conditions were. You can't fault or doubt Virat Kohli for that. Yes, the accusations of a selfish knock are valid only for Pune, where he blatantly tried to slow down and tried to ensure he got to 100. That was there. But apart from that, not a single knock of Virat Kohli was selfish. And neither did he play slowly. He played according to the situation. He played according to the situation in Dharamshala against a much more better lineup than New Zealand. Didn't he give you the win? He countered South Africa's bowlers, surviving the initial burst. Remember how Rabada was bowling and he was just trying to poke and got beaten so many times? Here, if you look at it, he tried to be aggressive, but he realized that okay, it is not suiting my template anymore. Then he went back to convention. Yes, luckily he didn't find the fielder like how he did against England in Lucknow. But I think I prefer this version of Virat. And that's where some of the accusations are saying, oh, no, if he had stayed there till the end, India would have only scored 350. I
I'll
disagree totally.
I'll just be joining you guys in a minute, huh?
Uh-huh.
Cool. I
No, but to
disagree
add to
totally.
Siddharth's point, I do agree. I think the version of Virat which does in fact work best is the version where he gets you the most runs with the least fuss. I don't want to see Virat taking risks, especially not in the ODI format. The ODI format is not the format where you need to see him being swashbuckling. The only format I would argue he'd probably need to do that a little bit would be T20s. And I think in the near future, he doesn't seem to be part of the T20I scheme of things. So maybe if you see him do that in the IPL, even there, of course, more often than not, he has gotten runs playing conventionally. So I think it's less about, let's say, being swashbuckling, more about just playing a few more shots. But if we're sticking to the current situation, which is of course important given it's an ODI World Cup, we know how he best plays ODI cricket. I think it just makes no sense if you look to, make him play more aggressively. I think he's best playing his way because that's what gets him as well as the team, rest we forget, the most runs.
Exactly. I don't think that we need to worry about Virat playing in this way, whether he wants to be aggressive. I think he's playing according to the situation. And because of that, I think we have to be happy with whatever it is at this point in time. So
No, but
let's
what
not worry.
Harshit sir is trying to point out here was that when he's not getting off the mark in starting of couple of deliveries, he's trying
Hmm.
to make his presence feel by getting that big shot and making his presence felt to the opponent. This is what we also saw during versus the England game, that he did not get off the mark. He middled one good two covers, and David Malan stopped that. Today also 5 deliveries, maybe that
I
it's been
kind of
5
disagree.
deliveries. Everyone is thinking, yeah.
I kind of disagree because see, he kind of, if you looked at the intent of that shot, he tried to go over the fielder. Sometimes it works for Virat Kohli, but on that particular occasion, it didn't work. Now,
But we haven't,
that was
but
the
we
first
haven't
time we
seen
saw this.
him. But we haven't seen him go for shots like to take. It is something that Rohit Sharma would maybe probably do, that go and try to take on the fielder. Who's see the reason he had that fielder up was even he had done the same with Rohit Sharma also. He had taken the mid on fielder up so that the Rohit Sharma would go for that shot, try and chip it up over mid on. That is exactly what Rohit Sharma did, and it just fell a little out of the circle. So that is, I think, that was more planned from Vandermeer. So I think Virat Kohli also, it's very unlike Virat. He doesn't go for that shot early on in
Also,
seasons.
you know, comparing the two situations, one instance, England wasn't off the mark. Today, slowest start, 5 out of 10. Just starting to think if this is something as opposition, I can plan around Virat Kohli. That if I can stifle him right up top, his get out of the jail shot is dance down the track, try to breach the infield, particularly go more offside and target going over the man at mid off. That's what I can do. Is this something that's probably new? Let's say just it's like the World Cup thing getting to Virat Kohli, that he, as soon as he's there in the middle, all he wants to do is get off the mark. That's it.
Yeah,
Just beginning to think on those lines now.
yeah.
Could be, could be. He doesn't. No one ever wants to be out on zero. And remember, Kohli, first time he got out World Cup duck was against England. First time ever. So
Hmm.
I can understand the fears. I can understand the thing that okay, the urge. Nobody ever wants to get out on duck. But then
Yeah.
I think what we have to understand is that Kohli is playing according to the situation. Sure, I think he tried to go for an aggressive shot, but it didn't come off. Then he switched down, saying that, okay, I'll go by my template, get a 95 strike rate, and then after I cross 50, I'll explode. Remember, even it is
Hmm.
six. He hit a six today, which was right in the slot. So he's trying to be that aggressive self also. But this version of Virat Kohli, if you have that aggressive self, maybe it is a 50-50 gamble. Sometimes it can come off, sometimes it may not be able to. That is why I think let's not read too much into Virat Kohli's maybe that thing. New Zealand and Australia will plan better against him. That's for sure. Any plan that you put in front, maybe they'll try to bowl slightly wide outside off. He'll try to go for the drive, get an edge. That can also happen.
Hmm.
A left arm spinner, look, he tackled Santner in Dharamshala. Maybe he can tackle him even in Mumbai, which will be a flat deck. Dharamshala had a bit of assistance, and that too in the night time. Whether
Yeah.
he can do it in Mumbai, that remains to be seen.
But talking of, let's just shift focus now. Maybe spend some time talking about the other Centurion in KL, Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, we talked about. How impressive were those two sixes, gents, for him to get into the 90s and then from 95 go to 101 with that massive. He was anticipating it, wasn't he? He stood still in both those balls, waiting for the ball to come out of the bat. And he pretty much knew what the bowler was trying to do. Very, very impressed with KL Rahul today.
Since the time he has come back from his injury, he has looked a different person, a different player, a different leader. You can see that while he is with the gloves behind the stumps. Also, it's just been he's bent some to some barber or something, and he has just transformed as a human being altogether since the time he has come back from the injury.
No, actually,
Well,
that's right. Because I
Rahul,
remember when he was coming back from injury, it was the Asia Cup. I remember he had some interviews with the broadcasters where he actually pretty freely admitted he's like, when you are going through injuries and stuff like that, it does tend to impact you mentally. And he's saying to get past that was a bit of a challenge. But I think what he's done since is kind of recalibrated his focus. Previously, you all would remember he had that very popular celebration where you do this and say block out the outside noise. But I do in fact think that now he's finally starting to do that and focus more on his own game, focus more on what he can control rather than what he can't control, and more specifically the trolls. That definitely got to him at one point. But I think now he's kind of also helps. I think that in ODIs he's got a very clearly defined role. He does know how exactly it is he's supposed to play in that number five position, does it to perfection, and that clarity in role and clarity in his mind as to how it is he's going to be going about with things has impacted him considerably. And you're seeing, dare I say, this year's the 2023 edition of KL Rahul in ODI cricket is probably the best version of KL Rahul I've ever seen. Like it seems like after 7, 8 years, he's finally getting a consistent run in one particular position, and he's actually making it his own, which I cannot normally say about KL Rahul in pretty much any era, as at least as far as the Indian team is concerned. Whole different beast if you go over his IPL numbers, where he's been phenomenal as an opener. But this time around, I think he's finally gotten. I think that's something that is probably not talked about enough. Is that he was always seen as a utility man, particularly in ODIs. For one, he never really played unless you wanted to either rest Shikhar Dhawan or you had an injury in the middle order in case you just plug him in. Now he's finally gotten a sustained run in that one position, done beautifully.
Yep.
By the way, guys, in case you've been wondering why I've been taking the phone call so often, it is our dear friend Saransh who has this habit of troubling me. You guys know, but I sent out
Hmm.
Diwali wishes to all of you all and a dear family members as well.
Of course, of course. But then before the innings is about to begin now, I'll just take this
Hmm.
one. It's a big positive for Indian cricket. Getting 400 plus
Hmm.
score without Rohit's century is a big thing. If you see our middle order, they can switch their game approach. It's a big plus. They can play attacking cricket as well as can play slowly. So
They
that
play the
commit,
situations very, very well.
Yeah.
yeah, it does, it does, it does. So that's why
And you've got
I
a
have a
very
feeling
good
that
sample size now. You've got a very, very good sample size with same KL Rahul, who had to dig deep against Australia. Was again short of a century the other day, but again played to the situation. And today you see just 57 balls, I think, 62 balls for him to get to his century. And I think that's the record as well, Siddharth, for the fastest World Cup century by an Indian.
yes, by a wicket keeper. Yes, yes, yes. If you look at it. So the fastest century by an Indian, if you look at it, it is actually the fastest. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Wow.
And he's only the second keeper, by the way, KL Rahul, to hit a century after our head coach, wicket keeper.
Hmm.
99, 99 with two.
Yep, 145 he hit. No, he had only 145. That's it. And 104 versus Kenya. Yeah, you're right.
Kenya, huh? Kenya. Yeah.
So, what do you think, gents? Will the Netherlands cross 100?
You know why
I
Saransh
and
is
when
again? He's saying that
hmm.
listen, we got to hurry up, we got to plan because what if they're folded so soon like the South African side were and Sri Lankan side were?
In fact, that's what Dex is asking. He's saying, can the Dutch players even get past 50? It's a good shout. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see another 80, 90 all out. I think they could get past 50, maybe not past 100. I think this Indian bowling lineup would be keen to kind of get the job done, go back to the hotel room and celebrate an early Diwali.
Yep,
I feel they'll
indeed,
get to
indeed.
half of the total at least. They are a very nice, good fighting team. They've fought throughout. They've punched above the weight all throughout the tournament. So I think they'll get to about at least a 150.
Oh, very interesting.
What should I analyze the Dutch bowlers' woeful performance? You summed it up in one word: woeful. I mean,
Anyhow,
Woeful.
we must get down to
global bowling.
predictions because play has actually begun. Two for the
Hmm.
Netherlands as of now. So can they go past 55, another 53 runs to go? Can they save that?
They'll go past 100. They will go past 100. Definitely. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think we shouldn't disrespect the Dutch that much. I mean, see, I agree, South Africa and Sri Lanka were blown away, but I think this Dutch team can show a bit
You
of fight.
so that you will find a way of paying them tribute anyway. One can see.
Yeah, you're wearing
Yes.
orange.
I mean, orange is not an exclusive color only for the Dutch. It's got auspicious meanings also. Today, in particular,
Hmm.
Kesari,
Fair
why not?
point.
Yep, yep. So, if that's it, if Netherlands don't win, Tata City 2025 also. So, we'll join you for the match end and let's see how it goes from here. And already the firecrackers are off, so we'll have to
But stay
quickly
away
go.
from the firecrackers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will do. I will, but if they force, I have to go down. Okay, so from me, Shane, Shashwat, Harshit, bye bye. We'll join you for the mid innings. India's making it
You mean
9.
post match? Post match. This was the mid innings.
For the mid innings. See, I'm already into festive mode already. Post match, India's making it 9-0. Bye bye from all of us.